in terms of bills. And in this case, I wish to appeal to the House Business Committee that at the course of ordering the work that is going to be done in this House, let them really exercise a lot of fairness, because of the fact that some of the bills that were withdrawn were maiden bills for some of the people in this House, and it may end up that the same bills may lapse, and it would look like some people in this House have not even produced any bill at all. Mr. Speaker, sir, last year was a wonderful year, despite the fact that we almost had a challenge in terms of revenue sharing bill. However, it is my hope that this year I will not spend a lot of time when it comes to that. In addition to that, we know this year is a year that is approaching. We are approaching electioneering year. There is PPI, there is politicking in terms of 2022 elections, but I want to encourage my colleagues to actually exercise a priority so that we appreciate that this is a multi-party country, and at the same time, let us agree to disagree. Let us accept to listen to various issues, and in this case, from there we can see others, so that we do not come to fights like we saw in Kisii. Mr. Speaker, sir, finally, I want to say during the holidays, the long recess, I lost my mom, and I want to take this opportunity to thank the senators who actually prayed to my family members. They also supported me financially, and I want to specifically thank the Deputy Speaker, Senator Professor Margaret Kamar, and Senator Deputy Majority Whip, and Senator Dr. Gertrude Musuruve for actually finding time, together with Senator Christopher Langat, for finding time to come and condole with us during that time. Indeed, we were very happy. The Deputy Speaker was able to convey your condolences to my family, Mr. Speaker, sir, and we felt encouraged, we were comforted, and I want to say thank you so much. Otherwise, let me thank the senators for the wonderful contribution. I want to also encourage ourselves that let us continue supporting one another in such issues. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Mwaruma.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity you've given me to support the motion reconstituting the Senate Business Committee. For starters, Mr. Speaker, allow me to wish all members a prosperous New Year 2021. As we begin this year, Mr. Speaker, as others have already said, we have a lot of pending business in the House, and I would like to congratulate you, all the members in this committee, under your able chairmanship, because it has served us below, and we know that the members in this committee have applied themselves judiciously in making sure that the business of this House has run very well. I would like to say, Mr. Speaker, that there's a lot of pending business in this House in terms of bills, petitions, motions that are still pending, and I would like to urge the new Senate Business Committee to fast track the pending business of the House. There's a lot of business, including bills, Mr. Speaker, that were nullified because of the court ruling, and which require republication. I would like to urge you, Mr. Speaker, that the Senate Business Committee expedites action so that we have the bills are republished, Mr. Speaker. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, I would like to look at the philosophical underpinning the constitution of this Senate Business Committee, Mr. Speaker, because we have very diligent people in this list, very able, and people who are full of color. However, Mr. Speaker, I would like to address myself to an issue of institutional memory when you come to a new House in future. Because, Mr. Speaker, and this has been alluded to by Senator Murkomen, that we need to have also some people serving here, because as we know, we are moving towards elections, Mr. Speaker, and we do not know which members will be firstly re-elected back to this Senate. Number two, other people might be going for different seats, like governors, like the presidency. So assuming that only these members who are, or all these members who have been serving in the last 4 sessions do not find their way back into this house, what will happen? We'll have very new members who will be tinkering, understanding house business, and therefore I would urge Mr. Speaker that if it is possible along the way, along this year, if you can have new people, maybe have a mix of the people who are here and some new people, so that if we have the next parliament, we have that institutional memory in place. Otherwise, I support the whole list as it is, and I wish you the best of luck as we steer this house in this year 2021. I thank you.
Senator Mazayo.
Asante Bwana Spika. Bwana Spika, kwanza nataka nijiunge nawe na kukushukuru sana na kuweza pia kumshukuru Mwenyezi Mungu zaidi ya kwamba tumeweza kurudi katika likizo iliyokuwa ya Krismasi na mwaka mpya, na vile vile kwamba kulikuwa na mambo mengi yaliyotendeka ambayo pengine ni ya hatari. Kuna mazishi na wengine kama sisi ambao pengine Mwenyezi Mungu ametupatia ile baraka na huruma yake ya kuweza kuona mwaka huu tukiwa na afya njema. Nataka kushukuru sana pia vile vile kwa makaribisho yako kwamba tumerudi na wote tukionekana kwamba tuko katika buheri ya afya. Bwana Spika, pia nataka kuunga mkono ile listi ambayo imepeanwa ya maseneta ambao watahusikana katika ile kamati ya bunge la Senate ya kuweza kuendesha ratiba. Nafikiria hao maseneta wote ni watu ambao wamefaulu katika nyadhifa zao, na vile vile mpaka sasa tuko katika mwaka wa 3 ama wa 4, wao wameweza kuthibitisha umahari wao. Bwana Spika, jambo la muhimu ni kwamba lazima tuzingatie mambo ya wananchi, na vile vile ni kwamba wananchi wa Kenya wana imani sana na bunge la Senate kulingana na ile mijadala ambayo imeweza kuletwa mbele ya Senate na kujadiliwa kwa kima cha heshima, na vile vile kuona ya kwamba maseneta ni watu ambao wanajiweka ama wanajiheshimu. Sisi sio watu ambao tunaweza kupigana mandondi mbele ya wananchi ama mbele ya tafrija watu wengi katika nchi yetu ya Kenya. Tumejiwekea heshima na natumaini itaendelea hivyo hivyo. Nataka niwapatie pia kongole maseneta kwa kuweza kuweka kielelezo cha kwamba kama mnataka bunge liheshimiwe, basi nyinyi muwe kama sisi maseneta hapa. Bwana Spika, kwanza nataka tutambue uwepo wa maseneta ambao ni wale tunaita maseneta wakongwe ambao wameweka takriban heshima yao katika utendakazi. Na tukiangalia sisi katika haya mabunge mawili tunapata ya kwamba katika bunge la Senate ndio kuna maseneta ambao wamebobea. Hapa tukiwa hapa ndani tuko na Senator Amos wako Sweetsila, ambaye yeye hata huna haja ya kuongea, anaweza kuchambua sheria vile inavyotakana. Vile vile tukiwa na kama Samo Kongo na pia ndugu yetu James Orengo, Murkomen pande hii tukiwa Mutula Kilonzo Junior akiiga mfano babake mzee Kalonzo Senior. Kwa hiyo bunge la Senate ni bunge ambalo liko na takriban ya watu kadha ambao wako na uwezo wa kufanya shughuli hii bila kujali malipo. Bwana Spika, utaona ya kwamba katika utendakazi wa mawakili ulimwengu mzima wanavaa gown nyeusi, sio ile ya mtunga, ile ya green, lakini wanavaa koti lile leusi, na hapa utaona kuna kitu kinatembea tembea kwa mgongo. Hicho ni kama kipochi. Zamani mawakili walikuwa hawawezi kuitisha pesa, lakini wakifanya kazi wao wamefanya kazi kusaidia jamii. Hapa hawa mawakili wetu walijitolea kusaidia bunge la Senate ili kuweza kueleka kielelezo cha wale wataokuja nyuma zetu kama maseneta. Kwa hiyo kongole sana ndugu yangu Omogendi na Mutula Kilonzo Jr. na pia vile vile James Orengo na wengineo walioweza kushirikiana na baadhi ya hawa mawakili kuweza kupigana huko ndani ya koti, na hatimaye tukaweza kushinda zile sheria ambazo zilipitishwa bila ruksa ama bila majadiliano, hususan wewe na wale wanaohusikana na katika hizo bills, na ziliweza kupelekwa kwa rais na zikatiwa kidole kinyume cha sheria. Hawa walifanya juhudi, na hivi sasa inabainika wazi kabisa ya kwamba hakuna chochote kitapitishwa ndani ya bunge la National Assembly ambacho kinahusikana na mambo ya ugatuzi ama chochote vile bila kupitia hapa. Hiyo ni heko kubwa sana. Bwana Spika, siko hapa kusema ya kwamba pengine walipwe, hapana. Lakini kuna ile tunaita imani pia ni kutiana moyo. Jambo kama hili ni kwamba ile ambayo tunafikiria ama tutaona, ama wewe mwenyewe ukiketi katika ile hali yako ukiona ikiwa wanafaa, wao hawatakuuliza kile kifuko kiko hapa nyuma ya zile koti, wewe nenda ukaweke vile unavyofikiria, alafu wao wataenda zao na watakupatia shukrani. Bwana Spika, la mwisho ni kwamba zile mijadala ambayo tunaileta katika bunge lazima tuhakikishe ya kwamba wananchi tumewapatia kipaumbele katika mijadala yetu. Tusifanye vitu ambavyo vitaweza kuleta mtafaruku. Kama sasa kuna watu ambao ukiwauliza ni kwa nini wewe unapinga BBI, yeye hajaisoma, hajui kumeandikwa nini, lakini yeye atakwambia tayari mimi siitaki. Alafu katika hali ya mtafaruku, pengine watu wanaweza kuanza kupigana na maisha kupotea na kama pengine kujeruhiwa. Kwa hiyo tunasema ya kwamba tuwe wa kwanza kama kielelezo. BBI si kitu kipya kwetu sisi. Bwana Spika, tulikuwa na BBI wakati ule mwingine, na pia vile vile iliweza kupita na tukapata katiba mpya mwaka 2010. Sasa imeka mwaka 2021. Kama hiyo imetokea tena baada ya miaka 11, mambo mengi sana yamegeuka. Yanahitaji kugeuzwa na kuona kwamba nchi hii kutakuwa na imani, kutakuwa na upendo, kutakuwa na watu wakiishi na furaha baada ya kwamba wamepiga kura. Kusitokee jambo baya ambalo litafanya mimi nianze kuchukia huyu kwa sababu ni kabila Kalenjin, huyu ni Mkikuyu, huyu ni... na aibu ndogo ndogo kama hizi sisi tukiwa waheshimiwa ni lazima tujiheshimu kwanza. Kwa hiyo mimi nataka kumalizia nikisema ya kwamba katika wale waliochaguliwa katika harakati zote za bunge ambazo tutazifanya, hao ni wa maseneta ambao ni wakakamavu, na mimi ningeendelea kujiunga nao ya kwamba ni sawa kabisa. Asante Bwana Spika.
Senator Pareno.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to support this motion and also to join you to wish my colleagues a happy new year. You know, Mr. Speaker, we ended on a sad note last year when we lost our very own, the late Senator Kabaka. So we must be grateful to God that we are all in one piece after that, and he has been gracious enough to give us good health as we begin the year. Mr. Speaker, we know the members that are listed here as the House Business Committee. We know the capabilities of each of them because we've been here long enough to know them. Mr. Speaker, it was funny to hear Senator Murkomen is not here, saying that he's happy that he has a few who he can rely on to checkmate on behalf of the hustler nation. But I choose to look at the members not as hustlers, not as whatever. I choose to look at them as members of their own right in this Senate, members who can represent all of us and the business that we have, members who can take forth the mandate of the Senate on behalf of the counties and not on behalf of whether hustler or no hustler. In any event, our country is made up of all of us, and we must be proud of who we are. So, Mr. Speaker, I am sure that they'll take up their job well. They did very well in the last session, and most of them, looking at Senator Dulo, is one of the celebrated ladies in this Senate, being in the leadership, and having come here as an elected senator. So you can imagine how much input she has. I sit with her. I sit with her in the Security Committee, very committed member. The same to Senator Sakaja, who was our chair in the Security Committee. The same to the rest of the members, Senator Kwahom Boka, who is our whip. So this is a good team. Senator Charles Kibiru has been a chair of a committee. Cleophas Malala himself is also in leadership. Senator Ledama. So we don't really doubt their capability. So we only wish them well, let them continue with their job. If they had done so badly, Mr. Speaker, then we'd be shouting here saying that they should not continue. But we have no issue with how they were able to run the business last time. I am sure you have a good team here that will hold your hand as you steer forward for the Senate to this session. And we are happy that we are back and they are able to take us through. So, Mr. Speaker, I congratulate them that they are back and they are back in their committees. You remember last time we had a lot of issues even reconstituting the House business. Not the House business, but the CPIC. We even took time to also reconstitute the Delegated Legislation Committee because both sides were haggling as to who should be in what committee. So the fact that we are starting on a high note with this team, with nobody saying that none of them should sit, is a fresh start for all of us for this year. So, Mr. Speaker, I support and I thank you.
Senator Nyamunga.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. First of all, I just want to join my colleagues in thanking God for allowing us to be back. All of us, we did not hear anything about happening to any one of us. So we thank God for that. And secondly, I just want to support the motion on the membership of the committee that is being given a new mandate to continue with the work that they've been doing as the House Business Committee. Mr. Speaker, I do not have a problem with the list, and all the members are equal to the task. The only thing that I would like to urge most of the members that have been given this opportunity is that we should work and serve with a lot of dedication. I don't doubt it. They've been doing it. And also to look at the work that is before the Senate. The Senate has done a lot of work, and I think the country at large has been looking up to the Senate for legislation and the type of debate that has been carried out in this House. So I would really like to urge them to look at the pending bills, the pending motions, and even the bills. Personally, I have a bill. To me, it's a very important bill that we should not come again to the end of this year without looking at it, because it is one bill that once it is passed, it should go a long way to help the county governments in finding ways of raising their own resources, apart from relying on the national government, because the national government, as we all know, is overburdened. And looking at our debt situation growing by the day, we must look elsewhere. Even as a family, you cannot look at employment, income from employment alone. you must look at, outside the box and find ways of survival. And it's not only that bill that is important. I believe there are so many other bills pending which are very important and crucial to this House, and petitions, motions, and even statements. There are some which are still pending. Mr. Speaker, I would also like to thank you very much because in my view and from where I sit, you've done very well, very, very well. And it's not just a matter of talking or because you are here, Mr. Speaker. It cuts across, and everybody tells us, even from the other House, that they wish they were here because of our Speaker. So that gives us a lot of joy to know that that you are being appreciated, and our staff. In fact, when I joined this House, I was so encouraged, because if you compare this House and the National Assembly, which had had an opportunity to serve there in the last Parliament, the difference is so big. There's a lot of dedication from our staff. I don't know whether it is because we are few, but it's not about that. They do a lot of work, from the clerk to all the staff at the committee level. We've really had no issues. If any member has a problem, it's really ourselves to blame, but our staff are always at hand to support us. So we must encourage them and to let them know that we know and we appreciate the work that they do. The staff, all of us, even the security system, all of us in this House, I think we are doing a good job. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, you know, Constitution is made by the people for the people. And sometimes we've not behaved very well, even in this House. We cannot point fingers out there and we leave ourselves. Even in this House, sometimes we forget our responsibility and go off in sometimes the words that we use, the behavior at times has not been very cultured. We've not been so cultured. But about BBI, I know it is coming. It is right now at the county assemblies. But I just want to encourage us that when it comes here, we should just be able to follow the procedure and debate very soberly, because Constitution is made by us for us. And if for any reason we need that, we want to change it. I think the Constitution of America, from what I've heard, it has been, I think, amended like about 26 times, if I'm not wrong, or 27. So nothing stops us from adjusting our Constitution, because it is for the people, by the people. And we have been mandated as leaders to do that. So as we wait for this bill to debate on it, I want to urge our members that we should we should really restrain and give a very good example to Kenya as a whole, because Kenya has a lot of hope in the Senate. So I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Finally, Senator Zani.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I stand also to support the approval of senators to serve in the Senate Business Committee in this session. And let me start by first thanking all of us that we've been able to come back safely, and also to pray for the soul of our senator, dearly departed Senator Kabaka, who passed away when we were on recess. And, you know, just to thank God that we have the presence to be here, to keep in mind the responsibilities that we have as a nation and in the work that we have to do, which is really ahead of us. I've looked through the names of the members in this committee. These are senators who have served in different capacities, and we're sure they're going to be able to do their work very, very well. And I think now more than ever before, when we are finally actualizing the meaningful application of Article 110(3) in the Senate, which is allowing us to do something that we've tried to do for such a long time, really just getting in place a mechanism so that there's a way to jointly resolve any question as to whether a bill concerning counties is concerning counties, or whether it is a special or ordinary bill, and whether this has to be tackled by the National Assembly or the Senate. So we have been able to resolve that now through the landmark ruling. Mr. Speaker, what it implies is that we're going to be, as Senate, in a very unprecedented position, where we're looking at so many of the bills that had already been introduced in this House. They had gone through first reading, second reading, third reading, and now they are being republished. Mr. Speaker, this is really a challenge for many senators, because they really have to go through these bills all over again and contextualize them with this new light. I just wish to request that even as the Business Committee puts its work into place, that they're able to really prioritize this so that we can actually have the assistance that is required to quickly bring these bills into place. And I know that, for example, the staff of the Senate have been working very, very hard, already republishing many of these bills, and I think they will do very, very well. But I think when it comes to the Senate Business Committee, I think prioritizing this will help senators who had already brought these bills, who had gone through all these stages. I think also one of the things that will happen is that many of the bills are already well known by most of the members, and I hope that we'll be able to quickly go through it. Mr. Speaker, I know over time we always have the issue of time and allocation of time for the various activities that we do in the Senate. I know many times, even despite our standing orders, we go quite a bit on the statements, which is okay because these are also important. But I think given the challenge that this ruling has come when we are left with about 1.5 years to the end of this Senate, it will be very, very good and very, very helpful if we're able to strategize and organize ourselves in such a way that we'll be able to quickly bring these bills onto the floor of the House at the time when they're required to come on the floor of the House, and that we are able to quickly expedite them and be able to push them to the next level. Because, Mr. Speaker, these bills are about various interests of the counties. I've had Senator Nyamunga speak about her bill, which is also on the line, and many other senators would also talk about also the same thing. Mr. Speaker, the other issue I think which is very prominent, which we might want to look through at this session or during this session, and maybe the Senate Business Committee can also help us to prioritize this, because it is the Senate Business Committee that actually prioritizes the business of the House and brings this business onto the floor of the House at the times it is required, is to do with the mediation committees. Mr. Speaker, especially when there is an engagement that involves both the National Assembly and the Senate, I feel that the coordination that needs to be put in place to ensure that quickly mediation committees can be put into place can actually happen faster. Because I know from the Senate, we usually give the names of the people who are in a particular committee, who are going to be members in the mediation committee, and from the National Assembly, members will be in the committee. But sometimes it takes some time for all these members to actually get a chance for them to start even the first meeting. Yes, they are informed. Yes, they are meant to propel, but sometimes it just takes a little bit of time. And I know the chairmen of the committees have been working very hard to push this agenda. So I'm hoping that the coordination will be better, that the mediation committees can quickly coordinate and fast track, so that both the National and Assembly and the Senate can quickly be able to push the agenda that is required. I think this is going to be an exciting session for this Senate, even as we move towards the end period of this Senate. And Mr. Speaker, I am sure that with this business committee in place, we'll be able to move this agenda of the Senate as we expect to always. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
May I now call upon the mover to reply?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I wish to reply, and let me join you and my colleagues in welcoming members back to this session. Mr. Speaker, a lot of issues were raised by members that is really going to strengthen the work of the committee, and I hope the Secretariat will be able to tease out all the issues raised by members so that we can look at them and prioritize them, which is also very, very important, because having been in this house last session, this is normally a very a challenging stretch, because most of the members will be now preparing for campaign. And I hope the committee will seriously take their responsibilities in ensuring that the work given to them is being delivered in time and not disappoint members. Again, Mr. Speaker, maybe I will request members, especially those who have motions and bills before this House. Sometimes it has been challenging for us as leaders to look around for you to come and move your motion, or actually reply to your motion, or move your bill, and all that. So it requires both-way commitment, where members are really present when your motion is ready for moving, and when your motion is ready also for replying. So I think with that, I take this opportunity to move, and I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Senators, I now put the question, which is that pursuant to Standing Orders 184 and 189.3, the Senate approves the following senators nominated to serve in the Senate Business Committee, in addition to the Speaker of the Senate, who pursuant to Standing Order 184.1 shall be the chairperson of the committee, the Senate Majority Leader, the Senate Minority Leader, the Senate Majority Whip, and the Senate Minority Whip. 1, Senator Fatuma Dulo, CBS MP. 2, Senator Sakaja Johnson, CBS MP. 3, Senator Gideon Moi, CBS MP. 4, Senator Charles Kibiru, MP. 5, Senator Cleophas Malala, MP. 6, Senator Beatrice Kwamboka, MP. And 7, Senator Ledama Olekina, MP. As many are of that opinion, say aye. Aye. As many are of a contrary view, say nay. The ayes have it. Okay, order, Senators. The motion having passed, just like I did say in my communication, the SBC will meet here in the next, after 5 minutes. So, Honorable Senators, there being no other business, it is now time to adjourn the House. The Senate therefore stands adjourned until Wednesday, 10th February 2021 at 2:30 p.m.